Ah, I forgot. There's no light facing this way. Not that that's really a bad thing. Today's video was supposed to be about mental health and spoons and an explanation, maybe, about maybe what it's like to try to do life without medications that are supposed to make life easier or better, but they don't. They do in the interim. Medication is important, and it is super important to take your meds when your doctor says take your meds. But at the same time, if it's for things like past trauma, whether it was 2, 4, 5 decades ago or 4 years ago, you have to deal with that trauma, or you're going to be on medication for the rest of your life. And as somebody who has been on many different medications, I know that it a lot of times leaves you feeling like a walking zombie. Like life doesn't matter. Nothing really matters. You do the steps because you know you're supposed to do the steps, but you're so disconnected that it doesn't feel like the steps are worth it. For me, this is for me. I have a horrible habit of saying you, but the majority of the time I mean me. For me, this is how I felt. Hugely disconnected from reality. And it left me angry, but ineffective. I couldn't even, if I wanted to. I could weirdly fake it, you get loud and you do the things and you do what you're supposed to. But it feels muted on the inside. And that's just the mental fog that comes with a lot of the medications that are out there. There's so much more work that needs to be done on those. And ways that they dole them out. How many times was I told, okay, you need this, this, and this, and I'd be like, yes, you can help me. Thank you. Only to be given the highest possible dose for something and having the worst adverse effects. There needs to be a different way to do this. I'm tired all the time, and 2020 was freaking tired, and so many people are there where I feel I've been for a very long time. And I have few, if any, tips or tricks to help people get through. Mostly because they're just, it has to be personalized. It has to be what keeps you going. Whether it's feed your cat, feed your fish, water your plant. One plant, one fish, one. And you'll think, well, that one plant, wow, look at it grow. It's doing great. It makes me feel great. So I should get 10 more. 10 more will make it better. It'll be even better. It's not better. And it won't be better because you're going to have down days. And then all your plants are going to die. And then you're going to feel so guilty. And the feelings of despair and guilt, and it's going to be overwhelming. So really, don't get 10 plants. Get one. Just one. And I say fish because it's a goldfish. Just one goldfish. Keep that goldfish alive. It's kind of like the same idea that I think young people should. If you want your kid to have responsibility and have a pet, start off with a fish. That first fish is going to die. Number one, tanks. It doesn't matter whether you start it in a little jar or you actually go to the full out and buy the couple $100 tank with all the filters and the rocks and everything else. That first fish almost always dies. Not from lack of attention. It's something about the tank has to be set up properly. And rest and do... There's a name for it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. We haven't done fish in our house for a very long time. Anyway, it's about the guilt that will come with a dead pet or a dead plant or whatever. So minimize that. But don't get rid of it completely. Get yourself a freaking plant. Get yourself a goldfish. Do something that will make you happy. But just little bits. Don't set yourself up for failure. Speaking from experience, as I lay in my bed, exhausted, and it's just noon 30, I'm exhausted, and I still haven't done the video that I had already had in my head to do today about being exhausted. But today turned into another Monday. Because Murphy is tied to my butt. I swear. And he likes being there. He is nasty. So, get a plant. Get a fish. String a set of lights. If you think, people's... Oh my goodness, another one is exercise. Exercise is your friend. Doing something physical every day is your friend. You can be your own friend with that. And when I say exercise, I don't mean go join the gym. I don't mean take up running. Oh my goodness, no. Not even close. Don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure. Seriously setting yourself up for failure. Don't do it. The first time I thought about actually exercising on purpose, I thought I was in fairly decent shape for an old broad. So I thought, well, everybody else can do squats. Never so freaking happy to be in a hallway beside a bookshelf. Because I went down and I just stayed there on my ass. And I wasn't even alone. I actually... Oh... So embarrassing. I had a roommate whose door I happened to be outside of. Also great, So, start off small. I had this thing that I'm a lot of self-reflection, a lot of time, blah, 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 blah. I call them bed exercises. And sometimes those are too much for me too. But lift one leg, lift the other leg. Do that 5 times and go, okay, I exercised for today. Woo! And to some people, including some people I follow, that's just asinine. But you know what? It's not. Because it's a start. It's something. It's something. You drink your cup of coffee and you lift that till it's done. Do you know what? Fill it up with water, lift it 2 more times, each side. Because why not? It's not too much, but it's that little bit extra. And it's a start. And if you can do that for a week, you're going to feel better about yourself. You don't have to tell anybody. Trust me, don't tell anybody. Expectations lead to failure and guilt and backsliding and all that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do it for you. That's the only way to do it. Seriously, just for you. Nobody else. Even if you're living with somebody right now, don't even have to tell them. You know? And when you get to the point that you can do squats, I can now. I can do 10. Woohoo! It's been a few years, okay? But the reason I got to where I could do 10 squats, whoa, go me, is because before I had people living here and I had to interact with people all the time, before I got enmeshed in my neighbor's drama and everything, I used to stand in the window and watch the traffic on our main road. It actually used to be the highway, and so it's a fairly, it is well-used road, and I just watched the traffic. Well, then I still found myself doing that, except for I was also watching the neighbors, because then I knew them, and it was an icky feeling, and to get myself to stop, I actually punished myself by doing squats. If I found myself just standing there staring, 10 it is, every time. And don't get me wrong, I've had some nasty cramps in my backside from doing those 10, but I stopped staring out my window. So, positive, negative reinforcement. Yeah, that's what it is. Positive and negative reinforcement. But it's got to be self-regulated. You have to choose to do these things. It's like another example of what I do for that kind of thing is when I used to have to go out. There was a time I would smoke doobies until I was stupid, and then I would go do things, and then I would come back and smoke some more. I changed doing that. What I do now is I don't. If I have to go out and interact, then I wait till I get home to smoke. That's my treat. That is my little prize. There's something going on in my throat right now. It feels really weird. Like it's falling down. That's so bizarre. As I'm talking. Like I have to keep swallowing, but there's nothing there. It's so bizarre. I've never really tried talking while laying down. This is also bizarre and new. New. Yeah, saying new made it feel like that. Anyway, self-regulated positive and negative reinforcement. But it's a choice. It's a choice to give yourself a Snickers bar or a doobie or a beer or whatever it is. You have to make the choice what it is and whether you're going to do the follow through. And if you own that, then the consequences aren't on anybody else. You cannot blame anybody else. It's you. Or me. Remember I said that in the beginning? I actually mean it's me. And I really should go back to staring out the window more often, because my backside could do with some more exercise. And being prepared for possibilities. One of those being, picking up and booking her out of the lower mainland. Because if the expected earthquake happens, the big one, there's a good chance that the tsunami that there's warnings on the island about, which is silly because unless you've got a helicopter, you're hooped. If the big one hits, there's a very good chance that the water will come all the way in the lower mainland. So, I think maybe I should definitely get up and take a walk. That means leaving the house, and I don't want to. So the last few years, that's where I was going with that. Oh, my head. Oh, my head. Oh, my head. Oh, working outside, working in the yard, creating a garden is giving me physical exercise, as well as giving me a direction to go in. And it's beautiful, and we get to eat it. And I grew that. Not so much last year. Last year was horrible. It still hasn't stopped. It's still raining. Things are still trying to grow, but just being bogged down by rain. But anyway, that had been the idea. Okay. Oh, wow. That's fabulous. Exercise is good. Positive and self-regulated positive and negative reinforcement. And I don't mean the elastic band around a wrist. That's just stupid. People look at you funny when you got little red marks on your wrist. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Anyway, well, maybe it is for you, not for me. Oh, I think I have to go. I probably should have ended this already. My legs just won't stop moving. My head hurts so bad. And it feels like I'm swallowing the top of my mouth, back of my throat. Oh. But we're fine. We're fine. Everything's great. Right? Yeah, of course. So, positive and negative reinforcement. Self-regulating. Owning your stuff and trying to deal with it. Don't tell people. Just do it for you. Because it's not going to make any difference till you can do it for yourself. I have to go. Okay. Harmony, happiness, and health. Health. I don't know how many times today I can laugh at this health thing. Oh, goodness. Advil and Tylenol are my friend. Not really. Anyway. Harmony, happiness, and health from my home to yours. Bye for now.